Well, this is the last discussion in our video training. So far we've looked at what is commercialization, provided you an overview of that. We've sort of rambled through discussing about market research, strategy, targets. Now it's time to stop and just take a look at what kind of templates we have in T2+2 to help you conduct your market research. And there are 4 of them that are of particular interest that I'm going to address: the go, no go, the quick look, the TNA, and the commercialization plan. The go, no go is used when somebody hands you a disclosure. Hey, I have this great idea. Do you think it's worthwhile pursuing? This is a first slice at it, so we don't want to spend a lot of time. We want to figure out, is this a dud, dead on arrival, or is it something we should look more seriously at? Thus, we're looking for showstoppers. It's what I call a negative versus a positive assessment. Are there reasons we should not consider it at all, or should we pass it along and then consider it more in the future? Okay, what are we looking for? Well, one thing we're looking for is, has it already been invented? Is it, redundant? So we look at products, we look at patents, and we look at R&D going on to figure out if it's already there. Another thing we're looking for is there so much stuff similar to it out there that who cares? The problem's already solved. So we're going to look at the same stuff, products, R&D, patents, figure out if the problem's already solved. Another issue is, can we make any money at all off of it? That may not be a showstopper if we're doing social welfare, social do-goody kind of things, but from commercialization standpoint, it's a showstopper if we can't make money. So we got to look and say, is there anybody out there who might be interested in buying it? Why would they be interested in buying it? What's the market look like for these kinds of things? Looking from a 12,000-foot bird's eye view, looking down, is there any hope that this thing can get to market? Finally, we got to say, if we're going to get to market, we need a target. Are there any people or any organizations, given what we're looking for, whether it's venture or licensees or whatever, are there places that we can find targets? If we can do those things, it's a go. If we can't, it's a no-go. Let's say it looks like a go, but it's so early stage we can't figure out if it's really going to work or not. It might be something like, well, we believe the technology can be developed. The problem is this is a very price-sensitive market. It's like automobiles. They make 200,000 in a factory. You're going to put something on an automobile. It's got to be robust and cheap because you're going to buy so many of them. Is this going to be inexpensive? Well, we're not sure yet. Okay, it's a conditional go. It looks like a go conditional upon the fact that it's got to be made cheap. Or it may be a conditional no-go. Everything looks wonderful except for we can't figure out how we're going to protect the intellectual property. That's a no-go, but if we could figure that out, it would become a go, so it's a conditional no-go. So that's what the no-go does. It says, given that I have this invention, does it look like it's even worthwhile considering? Let's say we've decided we want to consider it and we're trying to figure out, how should we think about it? Should we license it, spin it out, do a strategic alliance? How do we begin to get our arms around? Is it a big hit? Is it a small hit? That's where the quick look comes in. A quick look looks at 3 separate market niches briefly and then pulls back and says, given that and everything else that's going on, let's look at it from a bird's eye view again. And what can we conclude about? Is this likely to be venturable? Or is it going to be something that is more likely to move through some other vehicle? And how big a hit is it going to be? So the quick look answers that question. At the end of doing a quick look, we should be able to define what the value proposition is for the technology. Now let's say we're trying to say, okay, we've decided how we want to get it to market and we know roughly what we have. And now we're at the point of trying to figure out how do we position this technology for the target so that we can approach the target and start talking to the target. In fact, we'd like to pick up the phone and say, are you interested in this, Mr. Target or Ms. Target? And let's get moving on it so that we can begin to open the door for deal negotiations. That's where the technology niche analysis, or TNA, comes in. That's what you use that for, to position the technology and to open the door to the targets. And part of what you will do when you do a TNA is pick up the phone and call 3 targets and say, are you interested in this? And keep on doing it until you find 3 targets. If you can't do that, you'll iterate back to the beginning and start over, because you clearly picked a bad market application if you can't find anybody interested in acquiring the technology. The final template we have for you is called commercialization plan, and it's a template you use to develop a commercialization plan for your technology. The emphasis of this commercialization plan is on the market entry part. We're assuming that you have the technology plan, but it does briefly summarize what your technology plan is, and it looks forward towards what the financing plan is. So it focuses on the market, but it includes the other 2 as well. And that is appropriate if you're going to spin the technology out and form a company. So you would use the commercialization plan template to do that. From after you get done with that, you're in position to be able to go off and write a business plan. You have the guts of a business plan. You just got to flesh out the pro formas mostly and sort of fill out some stuff. But it's basically, you got most of the business plan right there. Those are the canned templates we give you with T2+2. Now, the nice thing about Seaport T2+2 is that you can develop your own templates as well. You're not wedded to the templates we provide you. We have all the training in there, Commercialization 101, some other stuff, these videos. We have the data for you in the wiki, which also has a bunch of helpful hints. It's K2, know-how knowledge base. That is, we're trying to download our know-how for you. If you have great ideas that you go in the wiki, send them to us and we'll evaluate them, and hopefully they'll make it in the wiki, and if they do, we'll give attribution to you. If you've got an idea for a better template, send it to us. If it works, we'll post it and we'll give you attribution, and we'll send you a prize for suggesting a better template. Thank you. And there's the Foresight Archives, our data warehouse that you can go into, and you can pull data from previous reports that we've done, the non-proprietary data we're glad to share with you. All of that comes in Seaport T2+2. I want to thank you very much for buying the product, taking the time to watch these videos, or at least this last video. You may be interested in the earlier ones if you see this last one. Give us feedback. You know, this is a work in progress. We're trying to improve it, make it more useful. We need to hear from you, the end user, in order to know how to do that. So please do give us feedback. We're not wedded to anything. We want to make it as useful for you as possible and as valuable for you as possible. Let me leave you with 3 thoughts. My dad, the chairman of our company, always says, nothing happens without a sale. What technology commercialization is about is selling technology. Secondly, Milton Berle, one of my favorite comedians when I was a kid growing up, said, if opportunity doesn't knock, build the door. Well, that's what commercialization is about. We're all in the door building business. And finally, the last thing is, my favorite Chinese fortune cookie says, a well-defined imagination is the source of great deeds. Your inventors have the imagination. They've developed the technology. What T2+2 does, and the Foresight methodologies do, is help you define that technology, put it in a systematic process, a technology for getting to market. And together with your inventor, using our process, you will accomplish the great deed of commercialization. Thanks again. Feel free to email us, give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you. Bye.